Is intermittent fasting just skipping breakfast, or is it actually a structured, well-founded eating pattern? Let's talk about it. Hello, welcome home, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for being here today. So today I'm going to talk about my personal experience with intermittent fasting and sort of why I don't really do it anymore and my thoughts on it, and we're just gonna go over my journey and that whole thing. So before we get into it, I do wanna give a little announcement that I'm very excited to announce on here. I mentioned it in one of my recent videos, but I haven't actually talked about it yet. But that is, I have finally launched my monthly wellness guides. So I will have the link in the description down below if you want to check them out, first of all. But basically, just really quick, I'll give you the rundown. I really wanted to create something that kind of incorporated all the different aspects of health and wellness that I've personally used in my wellness journey, and I wanted to make it available to you guys. So I also wanted to make it like a monthly recurring thing so that every single month you're getting new content instead of, you just buy it one time and just have the same stuff, and then it kind of gets old after a while, I guess. So basically it is a monthly subscription to the wellness guides. You'll get a new one every month, so you can still purchase the January one. You'll get access to the whole January one if you buy this month, so you're not late or anything. But inside the wellness guides there are 4 recipes, so there's a weekly recipe, there's a weekly challenge, there are 28 journal prompts, so 7 journal prompts for each week. There are 12 different exercises, most of which you can do at home, or with dumbbells, you don't have to do them at the gym. Oh, there's also gratitude pages, monthly goal setting, and a monthly reflection page. There are 28 pages in total, so if you want to check them out, I'll link them down below. It's $15 a month, and so if you buy the January one, you will be subscribed, and then come February, you will receive the February one, and there will be new recipes, new workouts, and new journal prompts, and new weekly challenges on that one. So every month, those are the things that you'll get new content from. I'm really excited. I've been working really hard on this, and it's something that I really wish that I had when I started my wellness journey. So I hope you guys love them. If you subscribe, it would literally mean the world to me. I actually want to cry. I'm just so happy that I finally created this, because it's just something that I've been wanting to do for so long. It's I feel like I've been trying to figure out what it is I want to create for so long, and I feel like I finally figured it out. This is what I wanted to create, and I finally did it. So yes, go check it out if you want to. Okay, let's get into the rest of the video. So intermittent fasting. First of all, just really quick disclaimer. I am a certified nutrition coach, but I'm not a registered dietitian, and I'm not a nutritionist. So I would highly suggest talking to a doctor, talking to a dietitian or a nutritionist. If you want more information, or if you are thinking about doing intermittent fasting, just because this is just my personal experience. I'm really just talking about my personal journey. Everyone's different. And yeah, this video isn't telling you to do intermittent fasting. It's not telling you not to. I'm basically just telling you guys my journey, my thoughts, and that type of thing. So first of all, what is intermittent fasting? In case you don't really know, you're not changing what you eat, you're changing when you eat. So intermittent fasting is basically what it sounds like. It's intermittent, which means, different periods of time, and then fasting, which means you're not eating. So you're changing the period of time in which you eat and in which you are fasting. So everybody fasts every single day. You obviously, when you go to bed, you're sleeping, you're not eating. So you are fasting while you sleep. So if you go to bed at 9 and you have dinner at 8 p.m. and then you wake up at 6 and have breakfast at 7, between the hours of 9 p.m. and when you have breakfast at 7 a.m., that you're fasting. That's the entire reason why breakfast is called breakfast, because you're breaking the fast. I literally, my mind exploded when I figured that out. Okay, so there's different variations of intermittent fasting. Different people prefer to do different things, different types of it. So for example, there's some intermittent fasting variations where you fast on and off, alternating days. So one day you will just eat regularly, and then the next day you'll fast for the whole day. Definitely not something that I would do. I don't really see the point in basically starving yourself for a whole day. It doesn't really make sense to me. So for me personally, the eating window pattern that I was following was the 18:6 ratio. So for me, that looked like I would have my first meal at noon, so at 12 midday. So I wouldn't eat anything. I would wake up, I would work out, I would just drink water or black coffee, which doesn't really have any calories in it. And I would eat my first meal at 12, so noon, and then I would try to have my last meal end around 6 p.m. So that gives me 6 hours of an eating window. So between the hours of noon and 6 p.m. I could eat. And then after 6 p.m. until noon the next day, so like after 6 p.m. wouldn't eat, go to bed, wake up, blah, 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 noon, and then I would eat. So all that time, that would be 18 hours of fasting. So I started intermittent fasting ages ago, like I think when I was like 20 years old maybe. And I've been doing it since then, but it hasn't been super strict. So like on the weekends, you know, if I was like out drinking, it's like, obviously alcohol is calories, so you're not fasting when you're drinking. And then, you know, I'd get home at like 1 a.m. and I'd order like a burrito from Uber Eats, you know, that type of thing. So I wasn't like super strict with it. There were definitely times where like I would eat like at 11 instead of 12, or I would eat my dinner late just because, you know, I had other things going on, or I was going out to dinner with friends, and like most people don't eat at 6 p.m. They usually eat later just because of like work and stuff. So I wasn't super strict, but I would say since I was like 20 and I'm 24, so about 4 years now, I've been doing intermittent fasting pretty, you know, loosely following it, but still like throughout the weekdays, like doing it pretty much. So the reason why I started it was for my digestion. I noticed that I would eat these huge dinner meals, like eat, you know, a big dinner, and I would eat it pretty late at night, like, I don't know, and I would go to bed pretty early, so I would eat it like, let's just say 8 o'clock, which I know isn't late, but you know, if you're going to bed at 9, you only are giving yourself an hour before bedtime to digest before you're laying down. So what would happen is I would be really, really full when I would lay down and go to bed. And I would constantly wake up like super bloated. My stomach would hurt. And I was eating like healthy food, you know, it's not like I was eating like Taco Bell every night before bed. I was eating like vegan, like plant-based meals with just like a lot of vegetables and protein and stuff, like whole foods, whatever. So it wasn't the food that I was eating. And it's not like a gluten intolerant or like anything like that. It was like, I think I wasn't diagnosed with anything, but I just found that whenever I'd go to bed full and I'd wake up the next day, I'd always be bloated and my stomach would hurt. So I looked at intermittent fasting, and as soon as I started eating my dinners later or earlier and giving myself more time before bed to digest my food, and I wouldn't go to bed full because I'd already like given my body time to digest before I laid down, my stomach would be like super flat in the morning, no digestive issues at all, like everything smooth sailing. Like my digestive system was like perfect whenever I would do that. And so it just kind of worked for me with that side of things. Like my digestion was really great, would never wake up bloated. And then I would notice if, you know, I not made a mistake, but if I just was like, you know, not paying attention to the intermittent fasting, not caring as much, and I would eat late, and then I'd wake up and I'd wake up bloated again. So I noticed that like if I did intermittent fasting, my digestion was way better, and then if I didn't, I would wake up bloated. So that was the whole reason I did it. I definitely didn't do it to lose weight. I wasn't, you know, doing it as like a diet or like a restrictive thing for me at all. But I think the thing with intermittent fasting is because I had such a short eating window, I'd eat breakfast at 12. Well, breakfast, but like I'd eat my first meal at 12. And then I would eat such a big meal because you want to break your fast with like a pretty high calorie, like nutritious, dense meal. So I would do that, and then I wouldn't be hungry until about 4 or 5 p.m. So I'd be eating one meal at 12, and then I wouldn't eat again until like 5, and then that would be the only, I wouldn't eat after that because I'd be full from that meal. So essentially I was only eating 2 meals a day. And I did end up losing weight, although I can't say for sure if it's because of intermittent fasting, because I was also working out a lot. I was like, you know, I feel like I was working out a lot more during this kind of period of time. I also had my wisdom teeth taken out. I had an infection, and then I couldn't eat solid food for like a full week, and I lost a lot of weight from then, and then I kind of like didn't gain it back for a while. So there were a lot of other factors involved in me losing weight. So I cannot say for sure that it's solely from intermittent fasting, but obviously like if you're in a calorie deficit and you're not eating as much food, you're gonna lose weight. That's just like the way that science works. So recently I have kind of stopped doing intermittent fasting, but mostly like I'm still trying not to eat super late because the whole digestion thing, like it's still a thing. If I go to bed full, I'm gonna wake up with an upset stomach. Like that hasn't really changed for me. So I do still try to eat dinner relatively early, but I'm not doing the whole like waiting until noon to eat. I wake up, I have coffee with like vegan creamer in it, which is, you know, technically you're breaking your fast because it has, I think if anything has more than 5 calories in it, it's considered breaking your fast. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember, but I think that's what it is. So I think I just really believe in like intuitively listening to your body, and if you're hungry, you should eat. And sometimes, usually I wouldn't be hungry until like noon because my body was so used to it, but there would be times where it's like, okay, like I'm pretty hungry, but oh no, like it's only 10 a.m. like I can't eat yet because, you know, it's not noon yet. I would be breaking my fast too early. And so I think just any type of like restriction with your eating, even though you're not like technically restricting what you're eating or like how much you're eating, even though you kind of are, it's essentially like you are basically skipping breakfast. I know that's not really what it is, but yeah, so like sometimes I'd be like hungry, but I'm like, oh, you know, it's not like noon yet, so I probably like shouldn't eat, I'll wait. And I just think like any type of restriction, especially if you come from like a background with restrictive eating and calorie restriction and stuff, like just don't do it. Like I said, I highly recommend talking to like a registered dietitian or a nutritionist if you're really actually interested in it, because here's the thing, if you really do want to lose weight but for like a health purpose, I do not mean, because like it's not a bad thing to want to lose weight if like it would be beneficial to your health. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to say like, you know, weight loss is definitely a tricky subject. And this is not a weight loss promotion channel. I'm not trying to promote that on here, but there are people who would benefit from losing weight, you know, for their health and well-being. So if like that is something you're interested, I do think that intermittent fasting can help with that, because it's not like you're just all of a sudden cutting a bunch of calories. It's like it can be very sustainable. You can definitely sustain it for a long period of time, and it's not really like fully cutting out a bunch of calories. You're still eating like whatever you want basically. So I don't think it's all around like a terrible thing, but it totally depends on who you are as a person, obviously. Hold on, I have notes here because I'm getting a little sidetracked. Oh, another reason why I've kind of stopped recently is because I've been working out so much more. I've been going to the gym a lot and lifting like heavier weights and really trying to build muscle. And that typically involves gaining weight, like gaining muscle mass, and you need to eat a lot of food when you want to. You know, I'm trying to get a dump truck over here, I'm not gonna lie. And you can't get a dump truck if you aren't eating enough food. So intermittent fasting just wasn't giving me enough time to eat as many calories as I need to eat. So, you know, like if I'm going to F45 and I'm going to the gym and I'm taking spin classes every week, like I need to eat a lot of food because I'm expending so much energy. So I kind of stopped because I've been listening to my body. I'm getting hungrier earlier because I'm burning so many calories throughout the day, and I need to replenish that. I need to give myself energy so that I can crush it at the gym, so I can crush it at 45 and, you know, not feel tired and drained every day. I do really think it's important to listen to your body. When I'm hungry at 8 a.m. now, I'll eat. I would say I still hate eating before I work out. Like I go to, you know, F45 like 7 in the morning. I'm not gonna eat before I go there. I just can't do it. I don't like having a full stomach when I work out. So typically I won't eat until after I work out, but I've been working out pretty early. So yeah, I just been listening to my body. Like I said, I still try to not eat dinner super late just because the digestion thing, which I think is beneficial. Oh my God, you guys, I can't talk. Which I think is beneficial for everybody, in my opinion. Okay, so I have pros. I do believe it can improve digestion, especially, you know, eating earlier. And I do think it can help you lose weight, like I said, if that is something that you're trying to do for health reasons. And again, talk to a registered dietitian, because I'm not a doctor or a dietitian or a nutritionist, I'm a nutrition coach. I would say cons, it could potentially mess up your metabolism. There's definitely been studies to show that it has, but then there's also, of course, studies to counter that and show how it's beneficial to your metabolism. So that just totally depends on the person, I think. But I'm a young woman, you know, I have a pretty fast metabolism, I'm active, burning a lot of calories, and I'm still pretty much growing. I think, when do you stop growing? Like 25? I'm 24. So, you know, I don't need to be slowing my metabolism down for any reason. And then I just don't think it's great if you're a very active person. But again, like everyone's lifestyles are so different. Like if you have a job, you have to like wake up super early and you can't physically eat until like 12, then of course there's like factors that you can't fully control, and everybody's bodies are different. My experience might not be the exact same experience for you. Even how it helped with my digestion, it might not be the same case for you. You might be able to eat like a huge dinner and be super full and just go right to bed and wake up not bloated at all, because everyone's different. So that's, again, just what worked for me might not work for you. So yeah, that's kind of my take on the whole thing. I'm still, like, I'm not following it, but I'm still kind of following it, if that makes sense. I don't know. I still try to, like, not eat super late, but in the morning, if I'm hungry at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., I'm gonna eat food, you know, whenever I want to. And I have been eating a lot more food because of how I've been working out. All right, so that is it for today's video. I hope that you liked this video. Let me know if you want me to do more like videos talking about things, because I feel like I don't really do many sit down videos. So let me know if there's any other topics maybe you want me to discuss on here if you're interested. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.